So yeah, this video is not monetized, likes and dislikes are disabled. And I want to make that clear right from the start because it feels wrong, you know? It doesn't sit right to make money off something like this. This isn't a content moment or some polished emotional vlog, I'm just talking. So we'll keep the monetization of this one. Hi. I've been putting this off, and honestly, I turned on my microphone, looked at the little QuickTime bar, and just kind of, nope, not today. But it's come a point where silence starts to feel worse than the words. I kind of disappeared for a little while without saying something. You wouldn't know, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So, I'm sorry there wasn't any Halloween stuff this year. I know that's some sort of tradition here. The nostalgia, the weird movie talks, the slightly hyper candy-fueled energy. I had tons planned. Scripts written, props. I will mention props. Even a few things have filmed, but it just didn't happen. And honestly, that's fine. You guys already know why. My mum passed away. And I'm not going to turn this into a tidy story or a neat life lesson. This isn't one. It's just loss. It's messy, it's brutal, and it's still here, and it hurts like hell. I've already lived it once. I don't need to perform it again. But I'll be honest, I'm not doing great. Mentally, I've been not even on the floor, I've been under it. That's the best way to describe how I'm feeling. I'm not recording much new stuff right now. Not properly. What I've been doing instead is going through the archive. You know, those videos, the backlog, the audios, things you thought were a good idea. Well, they're all things I filmed over the last 12 months. Recorded, whatever, and never uploaded. And there's a lot of them. Like a shocking amount. It turns out I've been stockpiling work like a creative squirrel. Just bits and pieces of videos that never made it past the drafts folder. Didn't feel right at the time, some I hated the edit, some I was just too tired or too sad to finish. You name it. But lately I started watching them back, and I've been seeing another version of myself. The one who didn't know what was coming. And there's something strangely comforting about that. Like, hey, there you are, you're trying your best. And I realised that some of that stuff deserves to see daylight. So that's what I've been doing. Quietly, slowly releasing the archive. This isn't like a comeback or a relaunch or a new era or whatever you want to call it, when creators kind of vanish and reappear. Maybe it's just me letting go of things, pressing upload on stuff that sat in the dark for too long. And that's the weird part here. People are engaging with it. Videos I thought no one would care about. People are commenting, sharing, hyping, saying really kind things, and it's nice, unexpected, but really nice. Part of me is like, of course, the one time I don't overthink it, it works. Story of my life at this point. I'm a chronic overthinker. This last year, well, last 12 months, has been a strange one. A blur of grief, hospital visits and exhaustion, and tiny moments of calm in between. A lot of looking back, a lot of trying to figure out who I am now. Who am I meant to be without my mum? I said this somewhere else recently, but I really miss my mum's writing. She was my writing buddy for years, my editor, my first audience, my very quiet cheerleader. She had this uncanny sense of tone. Or when something felt right, she would tell me when a joke actually landed, or if I was being too harsh or too clinical, to me, as she would say. And now she's gone, I feel that silence every time I try and write or edit. There's a gap in the process where she used to be. But I'm doing my best. I've always kept a backlog of videos. It's one of those weird YouTube habits. You build a little safety net, so if you're burnt out, no one notices. You can take a break, post something from the vault, and people think you're consistent. Secret, I'm not consistent. I've taken loads of breaks over the years. You would never know, though. And now that backlog's become something else entirely, it's a time capsule. Watching some of it back feels really surreal. It's like flipping through old diary entries you accidentally filmed instead of wrote. You see the smaller things you missed. That weird nervous energy, my voice sounding off, offhand comments that kind of hit differently now. It's like watching someone who had no idea what was coming, and you just want to reach into the screen and tell them, do something. But there was nothing you could do. That's the hardest part, I think. Realizing that all of this, every project, every plan, was happening parallel to something you couldn't see coming. And I guess that's why I wanted to make this little video. Not because I'm back necessarily, but because I wanted to give some context. The stuff you've been seeing on the channel right now, most of it isn't new. It's archive, it's me. 12 months, 6 months, 8 months, whatever months ago. Trying to keep going. And you'll probably notice a few things. You will probably notice a lot of things. Inconsistent sound. Rushed edits. And the tone might be a little uneven. And there are these little fragments of moments that sat waiting while life happened. And to everyone watching it, thank you, really, for being patient, for being kind, for being, well, I don't have words for it. I'm always very grateful. My channel is small, so I'm happy about that stuff. And yeah, I know, I'm deflecting a bit. That's what I do when I get uncomfortable. I make jokes, I soften things, I act like I'm fine. And I'm not, but humour's the only language I've got when things hurt this much. Grief is like that. It changes everything. It changes your writing, the way you think. You think you're fine 1 minute, then a small thing, an object, a song, a half-finished sentence just knocks you out flat. And when you're someone who creates things, if your work comes from emotion, it kind of gets tangled up in everything. Suddenly, even editing feels like walking through memory. So yeah, that's where things are. No reinvention, no big comeback, no big happy ending, just me quietly putting pieces of the archive back into the world. And maybe that's enough for now. So if you're going through something similar, if you've lost someone and you're trying to find a version of yourself again, I see you. I don't know how to do it. If you can tell me, that would be great. But we keep going, right? In our own weird, messy way. So thanks for being here. Go easy on yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.